Welcome back. So the cues are positive. Let's talk about the stocks that should be on your radar today. Our team is standing by with the CNBC-TV18 list of top stocks to watch. And topping that list has to be what else but Zomato, because the intention that they had declared earlier with respect to taking over Paytm's ticketing business, well, that's finally come through. So, Mangalam, give us the details.
Well, it's a win-win deal if there was any for both Zomato as well as Paytm. After months of reportage, speculation, and the companies talking about that as well, this deal has finally been announced. Zomato will buy Paytm's ticketing business for a little around 2,050 odd crores. They will buy event, sports and movie ticketing business from 197 Communications. Does that cause a dent to Zomato's cash? Not really. They have 12,500 crores of cash on their books already. What do they get in return for this? Well, the Paytm's ticketing business combined revenue in FY24 was close to 300 crores with adjusted EBITDA of almost 29 crores as well. So, you know, it is a business which is EBITDA profit making. But the more important part here is, how does Zomato scale this? Well, their immediate target is to take this to a GMV of 10,000 crores, and that could be value unlocking as well. Remember, this is something that the company has been talking about as an opportunity post their first quarter itself, where Deepinder Goyal did say that they will add movies, sports ticketing, live performances in their new app, which is District, and going out will be the third largest B2C business emerging out of Zomato after Zomato and Blinkit itself. So the street will definitely take note of this. For Paytm, of course, they get rid of a non-core business and get 2,050 crores of cash as well. So a win-win.
Okay, all right. Mangalam, we'll keep an eye out on both those two stocks in today's trading session. Well, let's hop across to Nimesh. He's here to tell us about Kalyan Jewellers as well as Alkem. Morning, Nimesh.
Morning, Nigel. So the first is Kalyan Jewellers. In a surprise move, while the trend seems to be of promoters selling stake of late, in this particular case, the promoters are buying from Warburg Pincus. So the promoters are going to buy 2.3% stake from Warburg Pincus at around 535 rupees per share. The promoter identity holding will go up to 23% from 21%, but the overall promoter and promoter category stake will go up to 62% now. But do watch out for a clean out trade. I understand while Warburg is selling this 2.3% to promoters, the remaining 7% will come as a clean out trade, and that's when the institutional investors are likely to buy out. So big overhang from a private equity stake sale is likely to be over in Kalyan Jewellers.
Okay, all right. Got that, Nimesh. Thanks very much. So we'll watch out for both of those stocks. But just tell us about Alkem as well. There's another block trade and probably a promoter selling here as well?
Oh, yes. So in Alkem, there is a small block, 0.7% equity. The promoter family trust is looking to sell 8.5 lakh shares, and they've put a floor price of 56.16, which is a 3% discount to yesterday's closing price. It's a small block, and I understand the demand is going to be strong, which is why I'm going with green. But the fact is that the stock is rallied pretty hard of late. So, execution could be very important in case of Alkem. But since it's a small block and there is a strong demand, could be absorbed very swiftly is my sense.
Okay, all right, got that. Nimesh, we'll keep an eye out on both those two names. Let's hop across to Vivek. He's here to tell us about IndiGrid Trust. Morning, Vivek.
Well, good morning. IndiGrid or IndiGrid Trust will be in focus. A very large OFS is in the offing. So KKR affiliate Historic is looking to sell up to 17.3% stake in the company, and the route that they've chosen is the offer for sale route. Now, the base size for this particular offer for sale is at close to 9.7%, 9.66% of the total units of the company, and there is an oversubscription size that could go up to 7.7% of the total units. The floor price for this particular OFS is at 132 rupees per share or 132 rupees per unit, a discount to the current market price. Now remember, Esoteric or KKR is actually the sponsor of IndiGrid, and it's also the majority shareholder of IndiGrid Investment Managers. They have a 74% stake over there. The brokers are Axis Capital, Ambit Capital and SBI Cap Securities, going with the red on the back of the fact that there is a discount for this particular OFS.
All right, well, sales and block sales and that continues, right? So another one is Zen Technologies. Abhishek is here with details on this one. Abhishek, morning.
Morning, Prashant. So sources do tell us that Zen Tech has launched a QIP. The base issue size is about 800 crore, which can be upsized to about 1,000 crore based on the demand that they get. So base issue forms about 5.95% of equity dilution, and if they use the green shoe option of 200 crore, it would mean a dilution of close to 7.4%. The pricing is at 1,601 per share, steep discount of more than 10% to yesterday's closing price, and about 5% discount to SEBI floor price that they have. The lock-in period for existing promoters would be 60 days. The use of proceeds says that funding working capital requirement, funding inorganic growth opportunity that they see via acquisition and other strategic initiatives as well, and for general corporate purpose. The BRLM are ICICI Securities, Motilal Oswal as well as Nuvama to this issue. Back to you.
Okay, all right. We'll watch out for Zen Tech. Thanks, Abhishek, for that. Let's go across to Sonal, who's watching out for a couple of stocks as well. Sonal, which ones are these?
Well, watching out for 3 chemical names. Let me start with Epigral, because there is an anti-dumping duty which has been imposed on epichlorohydrin, and this is for imports from Korea, China and Thailand as well. This application was made by Epigral. The domestic producers other than that are Grasim and DCM Shriram. Analysts say this will benefit Epigral as there will be an increase to around 10 to 15% in epichlorohydrin prices in the domestic market, and that would mean a 10% increase in their EPS estimates overall as well. So going with green there. For Deepak Nitrite and Deepak Fertilizers as well, the DGTR has gone ahead and recommended an anti-dumping duty on IPA, which is isopropyl alcohol. However, this is subject to approval from Ministry of Finance. Conversation suggests that they would go ahead and approve this. If that does happen, it will be beneficial for Deepak Nitrite and Deepak Fertilizers. They are the only 2 producers of IPA in the country, and this will lead to an incremental EBITDA of 120 crore rupees for both these companies. IIFL says this will increase earnings for Deepak Fort by 10% and Deepak Nitrite by 6%.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Sonal. Well, let's focus on a couple of more stocks. PNG Health, that's a stock that I'm looking at. If you look at the headline numbers, that's the revenue as well as the profitability, you will say both of them are lower. But still, we're going with green because the EBITDA number actually has grown in spite of seeing a degrowth on the top line, and that's why margins have gone up by around 200 basis points. So, that's a positive one. The other one we're looking at is IREDA. The stock has been a rank outperformer. We have quizzed the management numerous times here on the channel with regard to their fundraising plans, and they hinted to us that sometime in this fiscal itself, they'll go ahead and do it. Now, we understand that they'll be considering raising up to 4,500 crores on August 29th, and the fundraise could be via an FPO, QIP, rights issue, preference issue. So going with green on both these 2 names.
Okay, all right. So that's IREDA that we'll also keep a track on. Let's quickly recap the list of all the stocks to watch today. The ones that have positive news flow around them are Zomato, Paytm, Kalyan Jewellers, Alkem Labs, Epigral, Deepak Nitrite, PNG Health and IREDA. And the ones that have negative news flow around them are Zen Tech and IndiGrid Trust. All right, with that, let's go across to Manisha Gupta and get a roundup of all the commodity market action. Manisha, good morning. What are you watching out for?
Well, thank you for that, Surbi. I'm looking at the crude oil prices because today is the 4th straight day of decline coming in for the prices. With this, it is now trading at a January lows. There is demand concerns because of weak economic data. The U.S. non-farm payroll data has been revised down for the last year. And then the ceasefire conversation between Israel and Hamas is still on, while it really seems to be fizzling out right now. But the street is also looking at the probability of a rate cut, and that perhaps is what is still adding some support to prices. The bright spot in overall commodities clearly continues to be gold prices, holding above $2,500 an ounce. There has been dovish outlook from major central banks. Bond yields are low. Dollar index is trading at a 7-month lows, and the silver prices also are trading at a 2-month highs. We have seen this kind of support continue for the base metal prices also, where even after a bit of a profit taking in the Asian markets, metals like copper, aluminum, zinc, steel are still trading on the higher side of their range.
All right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. There's commodities in focus. We'll take a quick commercial break here. Deepan Mehta, director at Elixir Equities, is going to be with us. And on the other side, we talk about individual names, lots to discuss. So stay tuned. That's coming up.